ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download.
Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the week, the Midday Market Report with good friend and colleague, Mr. Sean Alvare, SmoothTurn 2. Go follow him on X and, of course, at Wager Talk. Get his horse card daily, weekly, monthly. Golf, MLB, you name it, Sean's got it. I will be in Vegas Sunday morning through Thursday. We got the red eye back because we have a food truck festival this Saturday in Canton if you're available, or next Saturday on Cape Cod, my home turf, home game. So it'll be nice to come back from Vegas, Bet Bash, WagerWire, and all that good stuff, and then come back to a home game. So first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It is WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play, download the app. It is free. AtlantaSteaksAndSeafood.com. 4 subscription plans in all. Set it and forget it every 30 days. A box of protein at your front door. Use the promo code SCHOOL and get a box of chicken or chicken tenders valued at around $70 free with your purchase of $2.99 or more. So without further ado, let's bring him in, Mr. Sean Alvare. What's up, sir?
Not a whole lot. I was just listening to your sponsorship promotions. I'm getting more heavily into cooking, so you can send me some steaks or chicken anytime you want. I'll throw in a college baseball insider hat.
There you go. Another weekend in the books last weekend, as we are almost halfway through August. What did you see last weekend at Del Mar and, of course, Saratoga?
Yeah, I mean, Del Mar was great. We had some winners earlier in the week. We had some winners later in the week. It was a little bit rough for subscribers of this show as far as the exactas and plays I gave out, but really fair racing. I like that Del Mar's kind of dug up their dirt track, and Southern California racing is always somewhat speed favoring, but Del Mar's kind of dialed that back a little bit. So I do like that it's been a little bit more fair on the fast and firm conditions in Southern California.
Saratoga, close, dear to my heart. Anything jumping out at you so far in the meet down there?
I mean, kind of the same way. We're getting a little bit lucky, knock on wood, that it continues. We had a really bad, days of rain last year with, being rained off the turf, canceling cards, canceling back, halves of pick fives. And we've been really lucky. It started the meet with a little bit of rain, but we've gotten somewhat sunny skies, even, just a little bit of clouds in the area. But fair racing up there. We're not really seeing a lot of trainers, owners, or jockeys kind of jump ahead in the ownership or jockey standings, like we alluded to last week. We're not seeing, jockeys winning at 30% or 35%, and everybody else just kind of picking up the scraps and pieces behind them. So we're getting fair racing upstate New York. We're getting fair racing in Del Mar and San Diego. So it's a great time to jump aboard and, put some bets in where your opinions lay. We're getting fair odds, and, we're trying to stay away from those 2 to 5, 3 to 5 plays. But, if you're cashing 4 to 1s, 5 to 1s, 6 to 1s, a handful of those, 2, 3, 4 of those a card, your card's being paid for. So, definitely a great time to get on board with horse racing at Saratoga and Del Mar.
Did I see, and my eyes were correct, that there was a 3-day suspension with Mr. Flavian Pratt?
I would have to look into that. I don't know.
I thought I saw it. Maybe it was fake news.
Oh yeah, but it's not going to be served until the jockeys and the agents know what they're doing, and they know what they're doing as far as appealing the decision. When you appeal the decision, it doesn't start right away. You have to wait for the appeal process. So he's going to serve that on the 13th, 14th, and 15th, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of racing. Flavian doesn't really care about those days.
And I got to ask you this. We know how good of a jockey he is. We know the Irad Ortiz Juniors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And when they're hot, OMG, it's just set it and forget it. But when I'm watching Saratoga, when I'm seeing them offering a Pratt at 4 to 1, 5 to 1, just someone outside looking in. I'm not no sharp guy. I'm a numbers guy. You know that. But I was born at night, not last night. My point is, when they're offering that kind of price on a Pratt or an Ortiz Jr., you got to scratch your head, because I'm not saying they're going to go off 1 to 9 every time, but you usually don't get a lot of meat on the bone with their entries, correct?
Yeah, that definitely rings true. I would say anywhere outside of kind of the Del Mar or Saratoga meet. I've said it before. I don't mean to be a broken record, but we call Saratoga the graveyard of champions for a reason. Trainers, owners, and jockeys circle this meet every year when the calendar comes out. They point their horses, whether it's a claiming race, whether it's allowance race, whether it's a stakes race. When you get into the sport, you want to win at Del Mar, you want to win at Saratoga. So the competition is just heightened that much more. So and that's what we get. We get fair odds. We don't have to swallow those even money prices, those under even money, the 3 to 5, the 4 to 5 prices. We're going to get that every once in a while, but those are more of those world beaters that we talk about. And when we get more of a competitive field, you're going to get a healthy number on whether it's a Todd Pletcher, whether it's a Chad Brown trained horse, or a horse ridden by the likes of Flavian Pratt or Irad Ortiz Jr. So it's another reason why even horse players love the meet of Saratoga. It's a difficult meet to cash winners, but when you do, you get paid fairly and handsomely.
2 races you'd like to break down today. First, Saratoga Race 10 Grade 1 Sword Dancer Stakes.
Yeah, so we're going to be going 1.5 miles on that inner turf course. So I talked about it last week. Saratoga does have 2 turf courses, and this inner turf course has a little bit more of tighter turns. So makes it a little bit more difficult to come from the back. But when you look at this race, it really lacks, a front end speed horse that wants that front end and wants to set the pace in this field. So my top pick is actually going to be the number 1 El Cordobas, ridden by none other than Flavian Pratt at odds of 4 to 1. This is a Charles Appleby trained horse who typically does a lot of his training overseas in England. And this horse did most of his running over in New England, or in England, not New England, before coming over for this race. And this is more of the second choice of the Charles Appleby trained horses, or the other Charles Appleby horse. He does have another horse that has shorter odds and is going to be ridden by his stable jockey, William Buick, that rides most of his horses, especially when coming over here. But if you look at what this horse has done, he really likes this 1.5 mile kind of marathon type distance, coming off of a win in a grade 2 race, had a good time form rating in that race, now comes over, gets a little bit of a freshening, ran on July 10th last time out. I do like that Flavien Prat rides here, and I'll go over a little bit more on that when I talk about the other Charles Appleby horse. But that's going to be my number one top pick, the number 1 El Cordobas at odds of 4-1. And then the horse that you really kind of have to beat is going to be the number 6 Far Bridge at 9-5, trained by Miguel Clement, ridden by Joel Rosario. This is kind of the American horse that these shippers have to beat. Has a little bit more of that front end speed. So if nobody wants to go and they're going slow on the front end, he's going to make it a little bit more difficult for those closers to catch. So that's going to be my second choice, the number 6 Far Bridge at 9-5. Definitely do not want that horse on my top picks. He's owned by LSU Stables, so that can't be a winner, right, Jeff? No offense to anybody that's an LSU fan. I don't really have any college teams that I root diehard for, but for some reason, whatever it may have you, not an LSU fan. So going to try and beat that horse. And then the other Charles Appleby horse that I was mentioning, the number 5 Nation's Pride at odds of 3-1, being ridden by, like I said, the stable jockey William Buick for the Appleby barn. But if you look at what William Buick has done for Charles Appleby horses being ridden in North America, he's got a great win percentage. He has 25 mounts with a 24% win rate. Now let's look at Flavien Prat. When he rides Charles Appleby horses, mind you, he's not getting on the best horse in their barn. That's going to William Buick. But Flavien Prat's winning at a 43% clip with only 14 mounts, and it's got a $2.67% ROI. So kind of like that Flavien Prat's been winning a little bit more for Charles Appleby. So I'm not going to hang my hat on, William Buick's riding Nation's Pride. Yes, he's a little bit more of a, the better horse in that Appleby barn. But we've also talked about it, more leading up to the Kentucky Derby. This horse ran his last 2 races back in Dubai. So he's got a little bit of a travel issue there. Most likely went back to England after Dubai and now is back, traveling to the United States. So he may need a race. He had a bad race in the Dubai turf, coming in 10th in that race. I'd like to see a little bit more out of him. So those are going to be my top 3 picks that I'm going to use in an exacta. So I'm going to use 1, 5, 6 up top, and then I'm going to use 2 bombs with the 8 and the 9 underneath. So it's 1, 5, 6 over 1, 5, 6, 8, 9. For $1, it's going to cost $12 to punch. If we can get the 5 or the 6 out of there, 1 over 8, 9, this could definitely pay upwards of 80, 90, maybe $100.
Be a great way to, I would say, not start the day since it's race 10. So save some bullets, obviously, for Saratoga race 10. As Sean likes the one El Cordobas?
El Cordobas, I believe. I'm just making that up. So my last name's Alvarez, so maybe I've got a little bit more experience.
165 Far Bridge for second, Nation Pride for third, and the exacta 156 with 15689, a $12 punch there. Let's jump on over to Del Mar race 9, grade 2 yellow ribbon handicap.
Yeah, so I believe we kind of spoke about a race similar to this last week. We're on the turf course at Del Mar, but we're coming out of the chute, so we've got that kind of weird 3-turn, 1/16 type distance at Del Mar. And my top pick's going to be the number 2 Heredia at odds of 4-1, trained by Graham Motion. And this horse did his running last time out in a listed stakes race at Saratoga, actually. So Graham Motion's kind of trying to dodge maybe the Charles Appleby runners, most likely the Chad Brown runners at Saratoga up in New York. And he gets the likes of Juan Hernandez to ride his horse here. And Juan's the top jockey at Del Mar this meet. So he gets a top jockey. I like the way that he ran that race last time out at Saratoga. They were going slow early. And he was still able to close a pretty good third place effort, only losing by a half length. So I like that he ships over to Del Mar. You get the ship and win a little boost over at Del Mar. So I do like this ship over into Southern California. I love the fact that he gets one of the top jockeys ridden on here, and I think he's going to have a little bit of a bigger closing kick than we saw at Saratoga. He's going to have more speed to run into in closing this race. So that's going to be my top pick, the number 2 Heredia at odds of 4-1. And then my second choice is going to be the number 4 Public Assembly at 5-1, trained by Phil D'Amato, ridden by Antonio Fresu. Antonio's kind of, I wouldn't say taken over for Flavian. He hasn't quite reached that level of not experience, but I would say talent riding horses, but still does a top job in Southern California. We get juicy odds of 5-1. Phil D'Amato is really good with his horses as far as picking spots to kind of lay them up and give them rest. He ran a decent, kind of disappointing race in the Grade 1 Gamely at odds of almost 5-1, a little bit under at 4.8 if you want to be exact. So got laid up. I like that he's resting, going into this. D'Amato does well first time off of a layoff of this type of length. So that's going to be my second choice, the number 4 Public Assembly at 5-1. And then my third choice is going to be number 3 Liguria at odds of 7-2, trained by Michael McCarthy. Umberto Rispoli takes over. He ran a better race in the Grade 1 Gamely. He was odds of 9.5-1. So it's, we're getting a little bit of a switch as far as the odds go between the number 4 and the number 3 here. But I do like his chances. He's going to launch from way back. So he is going to need a little bit of help up top. So those are going to be my 3 choices. The number 2 Heredia at 4-1, the number 4 Public Assembly at 5-1, and then the number 3 Liguria at odds of 7-2. And then I'm going to get really weird underneath. I'm going to add a couple more horses. So I'm going to go 2, 3, 4 on top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. So it's going to cost a little bit more, $15 for a $1 minimum, but I definitely think that we can get paid, especially with the 2 or the 4 winning here. And then, like I said, getting a little bit weird underneath with adding 6 horses.
As we are 1 week full through August, next week we will be halfway through August. Give us a futuristic look in the next couple of weeks in August as as Del Mar, and I don't know the exact dates. When are the end dates for Saratoga and Del Mar?
Yeah, I mean, so the great thing about Del Mar and Saratoga is you don't really have to have a specific race to look forward to, especially, on Saturdays or even Sunday cards at both tracks. They've got Grade 1s and Grade 2s just riddled throughout their meet. But next, or in 2 weeks, is going to be the Travers at Saratoga, which is their big race. In 3 weeks is the Pacific Classic at Del Mar, which is their big race. And then the end of Del Mar, closing day is Sunday. I want to say usually they do it on a Monday, but their last graded stakes race is Sunday, September 7th at Del Mar, which is actually a really good card at Del Mar. It's all their juveniles. So you get a really good look at, horses that are going to, be pointed towards the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, but also this is kind of the starting point for the Kentucky Derby. So September 7th for Del Mar, Monday, September 1st for Saratoga. So we're still kind of in that happy medium of get my 30 days for $99 over at wt.buzz/SA. It equals out to about $3 per card, opposed to $15 if you buy them day of. So we're still in that groove of get it now, you'll get it throughout closing day of both Saratoga and Del Mar. It's just kind of more of a no-brainer kind of decision. If you buy 7 cards from me, you've already paid too much as far as getting the 30 days. If you buy 7 days, you paid more than the 30-day card.
So smarten up, guys. Get the 30-day card, of course, at wt.buzz/SA. You can, of course, follow him at SmoothTurn 2 and at Wager Talk. Sean, Always great to catch up. Hope to see you at some point this coming week. How's that sound?
Oh, absolutely. And I will 100% be wearing that college baseball insider's hat just to rub it in a little bit.
Well, I'll make sure we'll stay far away from Circa. If and when we meet up, obviously, we can do the local place that everyone enjoys, which is South Point, or we'll figure it out. So from myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Investor, one and only Mr. Sean Alvarez at SmoothTurn 2. We wish everyone a blessed day, a great weekend. Behave yourselves, guys, and stay tuned.